Give this example to people. If they're giving a little kickback and they don't fully buy in, so just recruit now, dude. I'm like, dude, if Waffle House offered to pay you $250 to learn how to cook, right? You'd obviously take that job. Well, yeah. Now, what if they also said, dude, we'll hire all your friends and pay them $250 also, and we'll teach them at the same time? Would you really wait till you learn how to cook to tell your friends? What the fuck you waiting here for then?
Yeah.
I gotta get better.
What percent of people have you came across though that have actually like been willing to do that right away? Because I know I think everyone.
I don't need them. I don't need them to build at a massive scale. Yeah. Dude, if I get all of you to bring one, now I'm adding 10 more at a time.
Yeah.
So my recruiters were the agents. I didn't have a recruiter. I didn't build this with a recruiter. I never had one. Twardowski recruited, Nick recruited, Dom recruited, Athena recruited, Let's recruited. You know what I mean? Like that, they were the recruiters. I recruited, and I taught people to recruit. And all I did was take that block away, that mental block that everyone here said they had. I just removed that piece. And all I need you to do is tell some people. I don't need you to tell 900 people. Can you just tell a couple? And then if you get them in touch with me, now I treat them like they're direct to me. Then I can teach them to get paid, and then I can do the same thing with them. Y'all all give me 10, now I got 10 more shots at it. I'll do it with them 10 also. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I can continue that trail the entire time. And again, if they do it, great. If they don't, great. But I'm making it so easy. And I talk about it so regularly. I'm not beating people over the head about it. But in a setting, or in a team call, or in a sales training, or I'm talking about nonstop. Like, why would you not tell people that you... And the reality is, if you aren't doing it early, my question is, do you really believe in what you're doing?
Right.
Like, you really believe it's possible here?
Well, that's not that. I believe that's part of the issue with me. Essentially, when I started, I'm like, well, I don't even know if I can do this yet. Like, I don't want to put co-sign on something.
But do you believe what we're doing is possible?
Yeah, absolutely, 100% now.
So why are you putting your hesitation on people that you're close with?
Right.
Because what if they can do it?
Yeah.
That's what I would talk to when you do. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to learn to deliver it, because that's for the rest of time, the hesitation with people building. That will never go away.
Yeah.
And that's 100% of the time going to be the answer.
It's just like an objection that you're going to get every time.
And it's like, y'all haven't figured out how to overcome you got one objection with people building. I'll wait till I'm good. There's one. You know, so just learn your way to overcome it. You know? And I'm not beating people over the head with it, but I can at least remove that limitation and go, dude, you've got to know someone else that's trying to be in a better situation. Can you not just tell them that I'm helping you and I can help them too?
And wouldn't it be better to have somebody with you along the journey instead of you doing it by yourself?
Yeah.
Running mate, right?
Yeah. It's just a super easy way to deliver it. And then I was able to do that down the line. If you know, like Twardowski's crew, that whole crew in Ohio, Kurt and all them, Dario, all those guys, I hired Kurt off LinkedIn like 3 years, whatever it was. And gave him to Zach because he was running up in Ohio. I'm like, here, dude, take day one. It's not like I found out, just here you go, dude, here's a guy in Ohio, fucking take him. Turned into be a decent crew. But at the beginning, they were hesitant because where they came from, they didn't know if it would work here. And I'm like, dude, you see Zach. Can you not tell them that Zach is teaching you and he's willing to teach them as well? And dude, it changed everything. He started telling all his buddies that Zach could teach them. He took the burden off of himself, and they just started telling him. Now that crew's deep now.
Yeah.
You know, but that was the beginning conversations of it. And Zach was so new in this deal at that stage.
Yeah.
And it eventually, it wasn't a fast. They didn't kill it out the gate, but they just started telling a couple more people. And then eventually they had full buy-in. And now, dude, Dario tags me in 12 posts a minute. You know? And
so how do you find Zach, or how do you?
Twardowski came from, he answered an ad in depth to Athena. He actually answered an ad, if y'all know Josh Rose? Exactly. Sorry, Josh. He's been here for a long time. So he's been here like early, since 2014.
He's Zach's biggest leg.
Yes.
Yeah. But you don't even know.
Yeah.
And actually, Zach hired him, technically. I have the similar story.
Yeah.
He ran an ad. This dude called Zach or whatever happened and never got back in touch with him or something. And then Athena had someone else call old resumes but just no one followed up with. And Zach happened to be one of them. And so then they hired him officially again, even though he had already sort of been hired for fake. And he got started with Athena just off of, I think, ZipRecruiter ad.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just complete, just needle in a haystack, you know. And he was fixing to go to school, and
Be a doctor, right?
yeah. Yep. His dad, his parents are doctors. His sister, his wife, they're all
Yeah,
doctors.
dental school,
Yeah,
right?
dentist. Yep, dentist.
So when you're hiring somebody, do you have them send you a resume to make it like, I mean, do you?
No, not necessarily, but a lot of us, as we built it, again, y'all are in social media world now.
Yeah.
We were not.
Right.
2015, dude, it was different.
You had to put
Right,
the
thank you. I
resume
have
out.
someone older
I did,
that's
I
giggling
did,
with
I-
me.
I
Like,
did it.
It's just,
I sent a resume whenever I sent
Yes.
a resume.
Yeah.
Like I typed up a
Do you
resume.
know what a
I spent
resume is?
2 hours. I was all about the resume.
yeah, I mean, again, times have changed, dude. So we're gonna have to adapt this thing differently. I don't need y'all out there running ZipRecruiter ads. That's not the world today. You know, but again, in 2015, 2014, dude, I used to run Craigslist. I answered a Craigslist ad. I got here from Craigslist. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You know, so again, times change. That is the one thing you're gonna have to keep the same, is times are gonna change on y'all too. And then in 5 or 10 years, you're gonna be laughing with each other as the old people, and the young kids will be doing something different. It's going to happen, you know? So yeah, no, at the time, we were just running a lot of job ads.
When you're talking about like, hey, bring them in and hey, bring them in, introduce them, tell them I'm helping you, I'll train them.
Could be by the phone, could be in a meeting, could
What
be in
happens?
sales.
What happens if you're running and gunning and producing a lot of insurance during that time? Like what's some advice you got on managing that?
Buckle up. Buckle up, dude. You're gonna be busy. A lot of phone work. I was on the phone from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed for
Ever.
4 years straight.
Felt like
Yeah, I mean it was a grind, dude. And then you get people in different time zones. You know, Zach's in Colorado. I'm out here, a couple hour difference. He's calling me at 9. It's 11 here. We'd be on the phone for an hour. You know, I get up at 8. I'm calling him, dude. He's like, bro, it's 6. I'm like, hey, dude, you call me at 11. I'm calling you at 6. So it's a lot of phone work, man. And you know, learning to have other help. Y'all are deep.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna have to learn how to help each other. But dude, it takes a lot of phone work. That's how this thing is really built. This thing isn't built through automations, and so it's like that can be the entry point, sure, but dude, it's phone work, man. That's gonna be for the rest of the time.
I know Zach taught me power weekends, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
But what about the struggle of wanting to produce more?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
having that fire, because that's if I had one thing that I struggle with, like I want to produce more.
Mhm.
Like I go have
What do you sell?
super weekends, right? Well, I did 21K this last weekend. I've had several 20K weekends, but for the most part, I do 10.
How long you been selling?
15
With us?
a year.
Did you hit Hall of Fame or not?
No, not last year.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm almost a year, so I'm 11 months in.
Okay.
Right, but like that's kind of a goal. But I found myself Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like I did what Zach told me I should probably do on the weekend
Yeah.
to manage the agency.
Yeah.
But then like it's a struggle between a personal goal, right? Of I want to produce more insurance,
Mhm.
but I need to help these guys
Yeah.
with their agents.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a balance to it. You know, for us, it was sell enough to be able to fund the business and not change my lifestyle, and eventually, with some delayed gratification, that level of income and time will come. You know, and when he changed that schedule, I forget who told him to. Someone gave him that advice, because our deal was get everybody on the same schedule. So you're in the field, they're in the field. If they need help, again, we had to call us twice if you're in the house or need help with a client, we'll pick up. Just means like, hey, I'm literally sitting with someone who need help. And if not, I call them back in the car between appointments, or y'all call them between the phone thing, whatever it is you're doing, between.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, geez. Yeah, it seems easier, honestly, with the way y'all are able to sell. We were in the field, and we built this literally between appointments. You know, and I was on the phone super early and super late because you definitely couldn't be seeing people then. So I'd make a lot of calls while I was in the car driving, and if I did it right, other people were on the same schedule, so they should also be in the car driving, especially the ones I really want to work with. You know, Zach and I were in the field at the same time.
Sure.
So if I'm driving home at 11 at night, he's probably driving home.
Yeah.
You know, so the players, it was easier. now you got the ones that are certainly needy, that run whatever schedule they want to run, they run 6 appointments, like, I get it. And that became setting some level of boundaries. That's why we had the double dial thing if you're in a house. If not, I'll call you back when I'm available to. You know, they're
I like the double dial.
I do too.
It's smart.
Yeah.
Call me twice, I know you're.
Yeah, because otherwise, dude, I'll call you when I'm free. You know, and then we made other contingencies to like, I'm a big fan of Marco Polo. I like that. Y'all use Slack for purposes, great. But I like voice interaction also, because I can articulate things, I can read body language. So for me, if they had questions that weren't urgent, I was like, hey dude, if you have a question that's not like 911, dude, shoot me a message in the Slack group when it's convenient for you, and I'll answer when it's convenient for me. And I just checked it enough that was like non-emergency. You know what I mean? It's like call 911 if someone's dying, but like call the police station and leave a message if it's not an emergency. I'll call you back later.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And we had those same, for us it was a double dial. It was easy. Now if you double dial mean you're not in the house, you know next time I'm not picking up, right?
Yeah,
So don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Cry wolf.
Yeah,
If
correct.
you are, you got me on speakerphone, Dad.
Yeah.
101.
You know, so it was having things in place so I could, because the hard part is dissecting what's urgent and what's not, typically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've learned through the years that most of the calls are not urgent. In fact, a fair amount of them, if you just wait 2 hours to call them back, the answer will be, never mind, I figured it out. Like 90% of them will be that, which I ain't mad at.
And that helped them more because they learned how to.
Correct.
They learned how to be resourceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
we haven't done it in a while, it's like, we don't even know.
Yeah, and that's gonna be, so it's gonna be harder to scale. You know, my personal opinion is you should learn both,
Yeah.
just for teaching purposes. The best example I can give you is like, when I got out of the field in 2017, and really all we had were direct mail leads, and we had some really terrible internet leads at the time, not equivalent to today's internet lead. So we were heavy direct mail, mortgage, final expense, whatever it was. And in 2019, Facebook leads came up. They were the thing.
They were fire.
They
back
were,
then, too.
they were
Hottest thing
fire.
cooking.
Yeah.
Well, when I was trying to teach people how to deal with the objections and the stuff with them, the most common objection I got was, well, you don't know, you don't call them, right? It was we were probably doing, I'm trying to think, 2019, we were $1 million a month or something like that stage, whatever. And so some people had buy-in, some didn't, and some people gave pushback. So I'm giving advice, and I had a couple people go like, dude, you don't know, you don't call them, you don't know what we're dealing with. I had that a few times. So after a few of those comments, I got frustrated, and I said, F it, watch. And I ordered leads, went back in the field. I ordered leads on a Saturday, I was in the field on a Monday. I started booking 10 a day, I was done by like 4 or 5 p.m. And I sold an ass ton of insurance in like 3 weeks. And it was kind of a thing because I'd been out of the field for almost 2 years. So it was like, I was on a lot of calls about it. But it changed the entire dynamic of our group, because then I was able to go like, seriously dude, I just booked 10 and I'm home for dinner and I wrote X. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dealing, these aren't that hard. You just gotta approach them like this. A little different approach than a direct mail lead. But I didn't know what it felt like before. When I got on the phone with them, I'm like, oh, okay, just adjust this, say it this way, tweak this. You know, a little slightly different in home for sure. They're different. They're different. They're not the direct mail people.
Yeah.
They're kind of their own dialect, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, but I understood that to a different capacity, and I gained the respect of people that were in the field to a different level because I could relate to them differently. You know, and I can't imagine. People are people. If they go, well, you don't know what it's like being out in the field every day with these long drives and an hour and a half between door knock. You don't know what it's like. Someone's thinking that. You know, and when I realized people were thinking that, I didn't want that because it was limiting me in growth, right? So I was willing to go at that stage and learn it. That way I could help other people do it better, faster, and they could never say I didn't do it. Now I only had to do it for 3 weeks, dude. It's not like I had to do it for years. I literally 3 weeks I was in the field. I was out. I was like, oh, this is easy as shit. And I did it back to back to back. And I booked 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Home for dinner at 6:30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was it. And I'm like, really? This is like cheating. And I could deliver it differently because I'd walk the walk. And I think this is the same. You know, I think what you guys are doing on telesales is phenomenal. We definitely fought it as a company for years. I didn't truly think y'all could sell what you're selling by phone. I just didn't. I probably fell into the same thought process as Sean, for sure. And some of the telesales companies that do it haven't figured out how to scale. So like, someone's probably gonna figure it out. I just don't know who it's gonna be. Y'all are clearly figuring it out, you know? So, but I don't think field sales is gonna go away. That'd be weird, and if it is, I don't see it being anytime soon, you know? So if I'm in your shoes just for that purpose alone, I would learn to walk that walk a little bit so you know what it feels like, because it is a different game, you know? And if you can teach it, you can scale. If you can't teach it, how do you scale? I don't know. Everything I've scaled, I've been able to teach what I did. And then if I can teach him what I did, cool, but then I've got to teach him to teach you, right? So you teaching him telesales, amen, more power to you. But can you teach him to teach him telesales? That's where the magic's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why? Because now Zach can teach Easton. I don't have to teach Easton. Zach teach Easton. Zach can teach Jake. Zach can teach Wiley. Zach can teach Derek. You know what I mean? Like, and I can go over here and teach other people. And he learned from others too, certainly. I ain't the only guy. I spent a lot of time with Zach. And the ones that you spend time with. So certainly teach him stuff, cool. But can you teach him to teach that guy? Because if you do that, dude, that's unlocked forever. You never have to teach that again. Because now it's his job. He can do that for the rest of the time. Now he's got to teach others to do it. You know, and that way you can focus over here. So teaching it, cool, but you can teach someone to teach it is that next level. And that's a different game, dude. It's a totally different game. Because now you got to teach him to deal with people. You got to teach him to articulate things right. You got to teach him to not be frustrated. You got to teach him to run a business. So it's teaching a couple layers deep. That's the hard part. Teaching one guy how to sell like this is like, it's not hard, you know. But getting that layer of it is where it's at, and you can't do that the way you're doing it without knowing both sides. So I think you have a little bit harder time there because you got to learn two different things, but it'd be worth it because then you'd be more lethal, you know. And then if, I don't know, someone that he's doing telesales, sure, but maybe he hires a guy who wants to be in the field. And if you can't help him, maybe your leg stops there. You know what I mean? Now you can get really good at promoting everything F5 has to offer, and someone can teach him, but you're certainly going to grow faster if you know how to do it.
How do I teach someone to teach somehow? Get them plugged into like all the trainings?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's no different than teach someone in-home, really. You've just gotta, like, again, you're working with him and he's working with this guy, pretend he's like the client. It kind of depends what he tells you he says.
And there's a bunch of scenarios.
Correct, yeah. You know, so I can kind of, like, if this is Zach and Easton, right, I had to work with Easton also, and then I had to teach Zach things about Easton that I saw. And we kind of did it together. Zach was getting really good at it by the time Easton came around. Like, he was figuring it out. But there were things that I could see slightly different. I'm like, dude, Easton learns different than Zach. They're different people. So I'm like, we gotta tweak things a little bit here. And I've been doing it a little bit longer. Yeah. You know, so for me, you've got to kind of have a little bit of involvement with both at the beginning, because otherwise you're only getting it through the person. It's like teaching in-home. Yeah. It's like, well, I said that. Yeah. Stop. You know, but if I get to know that other person a little bit and then interact with both, and then what I learned from Easton was the way he heard things from Zach. And then I could call Zach and be like, dude, I know you taught this, but here's what Easton heard. Let's tweak it a little bit. Let's say it like this. Let's move that. You know what I mean? And just because I can hear it from both sides. Yep. And then he would be like, well, Easton said this, and I'd call Easton, and it'd be slightly different. Not because Zach was lying. We're all different people, so we hear things differently. Correct. You know, so it was learning to navigate it with both of them at the same time, and then it got me to see how Zach sees.